Hey, what is up, mortals? It is TheLuckyDerp here, and before we get into today's video, there's something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if you didn't know, only 25% of you guys are subscribed to us, so please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Hello mortals, in today's deep dive we'll be covering Piccolo, or in his most famous moniker, Big Green, from the Dragon Ball franchise. In Dragon Ball, two individuals have been given the name Piccolo. The first was Demon King Piccolo, an antagonist in the original Dragon Ball, and his son/reincarnation, Piccolo Jr., now just called Piccolo. This deep dive will be mostly covering Piccolo Jr., who from this point onward will be called Piccolo, with his father being called Demon King Piccolo. Piccolo is a Namekian. Namekians are an alien species with green skin, elf-like ears, and antennae. Piccolo specifically is 7.5 feet tall, 250 pounds, and of a muscular build. He often wears a turban and a cape that covers long shoulder pads that extend past his body. Under his cloak-like cape is a bluish-purple combat gi. In the anime, he wears a blue obi sash, while in the manga, color spread shows it to be red. Another difference in physical appearance is that Piccolo has 4 fingers with black fingernails in the manga, and 5 fingers with white fingernails in the anime. Piccolo has all the standard traits of a Namekian. Check out our Namekians deep dive if you want more in-depth info about Namekians. As a Namekian, Piccolo has several superhuman abilities. As a trained martial artist, Piccolo is adept at fighting unarmed and with a melee weapon at times, though, like most other fighters in Dragon Ball, he used his fists more than anything else. It took him 3 years starting from his birth to reach a level of skill to compete with Goku, a tutored fighting genius. Though Goku had many things going against him, such as his lack of emotional intelligence and inability to tell the difference between boobs and a pair of upper butt cheeks. Piccolo is considerably skilled, capable of defeating most foes within his level of power, and slightly above. He, like other characters in the series, can use ki. With ki, he can fly, shoot blasts of plasma-like energy in small homing bursts, large wave beams from his eyes, mouth, and hands, and has large homing blasts. Unlike most fighters, who often believe the best technique is to hit the opponent harder, Piccolo has been known to be creative with his techniques. He developed a technique called the Drill Beam Cannon, a blast capable of penetrating the defense of enemies over 4 times stronger than he is. He also demonstrated this keen tactical prowess when fighting Android 17. During the apex of their fight, Piccolo began launching ki blasts at the android. Android 17 began dodging the blows, but did not realize that Piccolo had launched them into the air to lay a minefield-like trap, surrounding 17 with hundreds of orbs of ki that he then fired onto Android 17 with. Piccolo at times has been seen utilizing some of his more alien biology to great effect. As a Namekian, he is capable of stretching his limbs several dozen yards or meters away from himself, utilizing them to grapple enemies or reach allies out of reach normally. He is capable of great strength while utilizing this technique, and attempted to utilize it in tandem with the special beam cannon during a fight with an enemy in the Dragon Ball Super anime. He also has the capability of increasing his size several folds, reaching sizes comparable to the Saiyan Ozaru. Several dozen to almost 100 feet tall, this transformation increased his physical strength, but not his ki. But unlike the Ozaru, he seems to not be slowed down greatly by the size change. As a Namekian, Piccolo's greatest power is in his regeneration. When fighting Raditz with Goku, Piccolo regenerated his arm after the defeat of the Saiyan. He demonstrated this great regeneration again when he was taken by surprise by an imperfect Cell, who drained his arm. After ripping off the limb, emaciated remains of his arm, he regenerated it again. The greatest demonstration of his regeneration, however, was off-screen, during the Majin Buu arc. Piccolo has turned to stone, and Goten and Trunks accidentally pushed over his statue, destroying the majority of his body. Fearing they killed him, they were surprised when they saw that he was fine, and he stated that as long as his head was intact, he could regenerate his entire body. Another strange but unique technique to Piccolo is the clothes beam, or magic materialization technique. With it, Piccolo is capable of creating clothing, tools, and weapons from seemingly thin air. He used this technique to clothe a child Gohan when he kidnapped the boy to train for the Saiyan invasion, creating a sword for Gohan to utilize while also getting used to the danger of the wild. He utilized the technique once more in the Cell Saga, when Gohan requested a gi and cloak similar to the Namekians. Piccolo obliged, changing Gohan's gear, which at the time resembled Saiyan armor, to gear matching the Namekians. Namekians of the Dragon Clan have access to the creation-related magic. Piccolo is the son/reincarnation of half of a supposed Super Namekian, a being capable of abilities of both the Dragon and Warrior clans, which may explain the particular ability. This, in theory, means that if Piccolo put his mind to it, he could eventually be capable of creating the Dragon Balls, though he attests to it not being possible. Like all Namekians, Piccolo has an ability known as Namekian Fusion. It is a forbidden art that allows two Namekians to merge into one, with the dominant one retaining his personality but taking into the memories of the others, as well as gaining strength many times over. Utilizing this technique, Piccolo was able to fuse with Nail, who had a power level of 42,000, to become a being with a power over 1 million. He utilized it once more with Kami, his other half. After doing so, he achieved a power above that of a standard Super Saiyan, which at a minimum would have given him a power level well above 150 million. While Piccolo retained the majority of his personality with each of these fusions, he inherits the memories and some of the traits of the ones he merged with. After he merged with Nail, Piccolo knew who Dende was despite meeting him for the first time, and was kind to him in a way that normally didn't suit his personality. When Piccolo fused with Kami, however, he had truly become a good person, and along with gaining the massive increase in power, gained knowledge that Kami was privy to. For this reason, Piccolo is a source of guidance and wisdom for the team of fighters, as he often has information only well known by the gods. To fully cover Piccolo's history, we need a bit of time to cover a tiny bit of Namekian history, and his father Demon King Piccolo's history, despite Piccolo Jr. technically being a different person. He was born as an incarnation of the Demon King, inheriting all of the previous Piccolo's memories, as well as his command to seek vengeance. These memories help shape Piccolo's journey and abilities, and inform his decisions in the story. Many years before the beginning of the series, the Namekians were a spacefaring race. A great unknown cataclysm caused a calling of their race. During that time, a Namekian named Catan sent his child to Earth. That nameless Namekian grew up on Earth and was raised by the previous guardian deity of the planet. When that nameless Namekian attempted to take the throne, he was rejected, for his soul was married with evil thoughts, and influenced due to the evil of humanity around him and below him. Desperate, the nameless Namekian split himself, concentrating all of his evil into a new being. The good half of the Namekian took on the moniker Kami and became Earth's guardian, but the evil half named himself the Demon King Piccolo and escaped Kami's grasp, wreaking havoc on the Earth below with his demon army. Eventually, the Demon King Piccolo was defeated by the turtle hermit Muten Roshi's master, Muteto, and sealed into a rice cooker at the cost of his life. 300 or so years later, the Demon King Piccolo was released from his seal by Emperor Pilaf, who sought to use him to get revenge on Goku and take over the world. Demon King Piccolo betrayed them and restarted his demon army instead. The evil Namekian had two goals before asserting his rule over the Earth. His first was to kill all martial artists on the planet, for fear that one may know or learn the technique that sealed him away. The other was to use the Dragon Balls to regain his youth. Immediately upon learning of the proliferation of martial artists on the planet, Demon King Piccolo sent out one of his children, Tambourine, a gargoyle-like mutated Namekian who began killing the martial artists who competed in the most recent Budokai Tenkaichi, or Strongest Under the Heavens fighting tournament. The first martial artist Tambourine killed was Krillin, and when Goku discovered this, he attempted to fight back, but was so exhausted and hungry that Tambourine defeated him almost instantly, leaving the Saiyan child for dead. Tambourine began searching for more martial artists to slay. Eventually, Goku recovered and ceased chasing after Tambourine, killing him. Demon King Piccolo sensed the death of his child, confronted Goku. Their first battle ended in Piccolo's overwhelming victory. Before Piccolo could deal the killing blow, Master Roshi, assisted by Tien Shinhan and Chaozu, confronted the Demon King. Roshi attempted to use the Mafuba, the same technique his master used to seal Demon King Piccolo 300 years ago, but he missed, dying in vain. Tien attempted to fight Demon King Piccolo but was defeated much like Goku was. Piccolo, who had been able to gather the majority of the Dragon Balls, added the one in Roshi's hands with his own to summon Shenlong, wishing to be restored to the power he had in his youth. Just as he was able to make the wish, Chaozu attempted to interrupt him. The Demon King killed the young boy, then completed his wish, gaining his youth. Leaving the area after killing Shenlong, the Demon King traveled to the capital city of Earth's world government and declared himself king of the planet, stating that he wished for humans to live in a state of lawlessness, hedonism, and cruel violence. He was interrupted by first Tien Shinhan, who he assailed with one of his newly birthed children, Drum, then assailed by Goku, who had gained enough strength to kill the evil Namekian. Before he died, Demon King Piccolo gave birth to a final son, putting all of his power, will, and memories into the child, and naming him Piccolo, after himself. This new incarnation, dubbed Piccolo Jr. by the series until the start of Z, trained and bided his time for 3 years in preparation to kill Goku. At that same time, Goku, after killing the Demon King, was summoned to meet Kami. Upon discovering Kami looked exactly like the Demon King, Goku tried to attack him, but was knocked back by a flick of the wrist. Kami then warned Goku that the Demon King had created an incarnation of himself, and that he would attempt vengeance, requiring Goku to be trained by Kami to face him. 3 years later, a grown-up Goku encounters Piccolo, who has grown to adult size. Despite only having 3 years to prepare for the battle, Piccolo had learned a way to counter the Mafuba, his father's weakness, with it. He countered the attempt put on him by Kami, sealing him away in a capsule and swallowing it, ensuring Goku could not attack him without threatening to hurt Kami. As the battle between the two raged on, Goku tricked Piccolo into transforming into a giant, after which Goku snuck into the Namek's mouth, stealing back the capsule. The fight ultimately ended in Goku's victory, after he launched himself into the air with a Kamehameha with his feet, headbutting Piccolo. While the others wanted to kill Piccolo, Goku wanted to spare him, as he enjoyed their fight. Piccolo made fun of Goku's naivete, but Goku replied that if Piccolo died, so would Kami, and so too would the Dragon Balls. Piccolo scoffed and told Goku he would regret sparing him. Before we get back into the dive, I would like to say that in case you guys didn't know, we are a secondary channel to our main channel, We the Celestials. We the Celestials is full of fun what-if stories. If you have a sugar tooth for great storytelling, please give that channel a visit as well. If you're interested in the content we share with all channels, make sure you click the icon on the top right corner or check the description below for a link to the channel. Now with that out of the way, let's get back into the dive. 5 years later, at the start of Dragon Ball Z, whilst Piccolo is in the wasteland, the recently landed Saiyan Raditz confronts the Namekian, stating that Piccolo had the second highest power level on the planet. After insulting Piccolo and getting ready to attack him, Raditz notices the other power level was close by and flies there. Piccolo seems to have followed behind him, noticing that Goku was defeated by Raditz and had his son kidnapped. Piccolo offers his assistance, as Raditz was so much stronger than either of them that they would have to team up to have any chance to defeat the Saiyan. Goku expresses distrust of Piccolo, but with his son's life on the line, he has no choice, and the two go off to confront Raditz. Raditz is surprised to see them there and wanting to fight him, and is even more surprised when both of them remove weighted clothing, which increases their battle power by a good amount. Despite this increase in power level, they are no match for Raditz, and so Goku fights Raditz solo, distracting the Saiyan so that Piccolo can fire a power blast known as the Special Beam Cannon. Upon his first attempt, Goku's naivete gets the best of him, and Raditz takes advantage of that, allowing him to barely dodge the blow from the Special Beam Cannon. Raditz is then assaulted by an enraged Gohan whose power level skyrockets, allowing him to compete with the Saiyan. Before Raditz can retaliate with lethal force, Goku holds Raditz in a full Nelson, allowing Piccolo to charge up a second Special Beam Cannon, with which he uses to kill both Goku and Raditz. Raditz upon his death warns that two Saiyans stronger than he is are coming to Earth to avenge him and to steal the use of the Dragon Balls. Goku had accidentally let spill their existence and abilities to Raditz, and his communicator relayed the entirety of the confrontation to the two mysterious Saiyans. With Goku dead, Piccolo kidnaps his son Gohan, seeing the potential in the half-breed to compete with or even surpass the Saiyans on their way to Earth. Along with that was a plan to transform Gohan into his successor, to defeat the other fighters and take over the planet. Piccolo was a harsh and cruel trainer. He first exposes Gohan's overwhelming power by throwing him to a large plateau. Gohan nearly dies, only surviving because in his desperation his power level skyrocketed, allowing him to destroy the rock formation. Piccolo then left Gohan alone for weeks in the wild, watching him almost die time and time again, and only deigning to train Gohan when he believed he was finally competent enough to survive the training. At that time, Gohan was just 3 years old, the only reason he survived likely being because of his Saiyan heritage. Even more interesting, however, was that Piccolo at that time was only born 6 years prior. They trained together, Piccolo remaining aloof but growing proud as Gohan continued to improve and strengthen. And while he did not form a friendship with Gohan, they had established a level of camaraderie. After 4 months of grueling training, the two joined up with the rest of the fighters to face down the two new Saiyans, individuals by the name of Nappa and Vegeta. The Saiyans first attack with the Cybermen, a plant-like alien that grows rapidly from seeds, with Yamcha, one of the Z fighters, dying to one of the monster's suicide attacks. Krillin in anger kills all of the Cybermen but one, who attempts to attack Gohan before being killed by Piccolo. The stalemate reconvenes as they attempt to convince the Saiyans to wait for Goku, who is running late to the battle due to his training in the afterlife. As this stalemate continues, Nappa and Vegeta react with a surprise over the fact that a Namekian is on planet Earth. This reveals to both Piccolo and Kami that they aren't in fact members of some mystical demon race, but are aliens much like Goku is, though just of a different species. Vegeta and Nappa eventually losing their patience, and Vegeta allows Nappa to fight. The Saiyan first fights Tien and Chaozu, resulting in both their deaths. Then, Nappa is attacked by Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan. Despite all this training, Gohan is terrified, and is unable to strike a vital blow against Nappa. This results in a breakup of their team formation. Piccolo gets ready to berate Gohan for his lack of initiative, but the real tactical misstep was bringing a 4-year-old to a battlefield. Piccolo, alongside the noseless human fighter Krillin, attempted to fight Nappa, but fail. Krillin attempts to kill Nappa with his secret technique, but fails due to the intervention of Vegeta. Nappa proceeds to attack them with a devastating mouth blast, aimed directly at Gohan. Piccolo moves almost immediately, running in front of Gohan to take the blow, and dying in his place. Now, if you ask me, what they should have done was dodge. As Piccolo dies, so too does Kami, and the Dragon Balls go inert. Without going too much into it, Goku arrives, defeats Nappa, and with the surviving fighters eventually defeats Vegeta, but not before revealing that without Piccolo and Kami, the Dragon Balls are inert. The arc ends with the theory that with the ship the nameless Namekian first arrived on Earth with, hundreds of years ago, can take them to Namek, where they could maybe use the Namekian Dragon Balls to bring back their friends and restore their Dragon Balls. Unbeknownst to the team, several forces are making their way to Namek for those very Dragon Balls. Goku, still injured but recovering, receives news from King Kai, the being who trained him in the afterlife, that Yamcha, Chaozu, Tien, and Piccolo had arrived on King Kai's planet, and that they were about to undergo grueling training. Piccolo went through the beginnings of a huge character shift. His father, the Demon King, was the concentrated evil in the heart of a Namekian, separating from himself and given form. Despite inheriting those memories and evil, Piccolo seemed less overtly malicious compared to his father. Unlike the Demon King, Piccolo never created spawns to do his bidding, nor did he attempt to attack the heroes unguarded, or kill martial artists prematurely in fear of their knowledge of the Mafuba. Instead, he trained himself to learn to counter the technique. This difference in personality and belief in self-improvement likely struck a chord with Goku, which is why the latter spared the Namekian, other than the direct link with Kami. Piccolo also did something his father would never likely do in working with Goku to defeat Raditz. The Demon King's goals were the proliferation of Earth, destruction, and hedonism on the planet Earth. While Demon King Piccolo would likely hate the subservient of Raditz, he showed a conniving nature when he tricked the Pilaf gang into helping him when he planned to betray them. Piccolo's reasoning for helping Goku was to ultimately serve his vengeance. His vendetta was against Goku, and seeing the warrior fall to another was something he could not accept. Even his kidnapping of Gohan played tandem into his personality. He had lost his father to Goku, and thus he would take Goku's son from the Saiyan. And while he trained Gohan, he inadvertently found himself bonding with the boy, which led to him caring enough for Gohan that he would sacrifice his own life for the child. Regardless of the situation, Piccolo has carried himself in a calm, stern, reserved, grumpy manner, only losing his cool when under the threat of loss of his life or the chance of a truly disadventurous situation. He rarely, if ever, smiles out of genuine happiness or joy, oftentimes only smiling when threatening or bargaining with an enemy, as he did with Goku after offering to help rescue the Saiyan's son, or when he bargained with the Saiyans to buy time for Goku's arrival. Throughout his journey, Piccolo's stern nature never goes away, only abiding somewhat as he comforted Gohan as the boy watched him die. If you'd like to see a continuation of Piccolo's story, let's try to get this video at least 25 likes. Let me know what you guys think, and if there's anything we missed in the comments. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there's a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editor for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're interested, hit that like button if you liked the video. Also, if you like this video and would like the continuation, let's see if we can get at least 25 likes for the video, and we'll have a continuation ready. Until next time, peace out mortals, have an amazing day.